One. And two, you didn't even ask me, bro. So you don't know what size I want. She asked you and you just blurt out large. I'm telling you that right now, I wasted it. Should have never got me a large. Didn't ask you for that. Didn't say anything either. I could have said no, I don't want a large. I want a small, but I was like, Jeff wanna buy me a large, he could buy me a large. Don't even care. I didn't even have to fill it up either. I don't know why I thought I was gonna drink it too. Like, girl, you know you're not drinking that. But anyways, so I'm like, bro, who's gonna help you carry all this stuff, bro? You have a bag, now you getting popcorn and you getting nachos and all of that. He got large for everything, bro. I'm like, you played. Like, who's eating all of this? Because it's not gonna be me. I don't be buying all that stuff when I go to the movie. We go to, like, you know, fill up the drink or whatever and the slushie and stuff. I don't know if we both got a slushie. I think we did. You know, they give you, like, the drink cup, but I don't think he wanted that. But they're not over there, so you can put whatever you want in it. So I get mine. I fill mine up. I put the cover on it. Then he give me his cup, and he tells me what flavors he want or whatever. So I mixed them because that's what he wanted. And I put it in a cup. And now I have to carry both of these cups. So I'm like, damn. So we walk in to, like, you know, the movie theater or whatever. Like the actual theater. We go in there. And we knew where we picked the seats at on the chart, but, like, we don't know the actual seats, but it didn't matter. We sat. So then I'm like, where are we gonna put this stuff? These little tiny tables, there's cup holders. I'm gonna put my drink in a cup holder, but I don't know where you about to put this popcorn. I don't know where you about to put these nachos because I'm not holding it. So he's like, no, you are gonna hold it. So I'm like, no, I'm not gonna hold it, bro. Left that right on the table. But then I ended up holding it because it couldn't stand on the table properly. Like, it was gonna fall, so I had no choice. So I'm holding it, and we waiting for the movie to start or whatever, because, you know, they start with the commercials and stuff. So we there, he eating some of the popcorn. He was like, oh, you don't want none? I'm like, no, like, you asked me before and I told you all I wanted was the slushie, so why would I, like, I don't want it. Like, then I was like, yeah, I do want some, but I'm gonna wait until the movie starts, because if we eat it all now, we're not gonna have none. Y'all, I didn't eat not one kernel of that popcorn, and neither did I eat one nacho chip with the cheese. Didn't touch none of that. I barely drank the slushie. But anyways, so the movie start. Me now, I be watching little kid movies, so I was interested in the movie. So I'm watching it, and I noticed Jeff is like, he being a little jumpy. Like, he keep moving, he keep looking around, he moving forward, he looking to see if I'm looking at him, and then he looking away. Like, bro, I'm trying to watch the movie, Jeff. That's what we came here to do, watch the movie. It don't matter what kind of movie we're watching because you was dumb late. We came to watch the movie, so we're gonna watch the movie, Jeff. That's what I'm doing. So I'm like, bro, why you keep looking at me like that, bro? Like, I'm not saying that you can't, like, stare at me, whatever, because that's kind of cute, but, like, you just keep moving back and forth, and you looking at me to see if I'm looking at you and stuff. Like, you ODing now, Jeff. Like, chill, bro. You doing too much, bro. So you're like, my fault, whatever. I'm like, yeah, you ODing, gang. Like, so so I'm watching the movie, and then Jeff want to be cute, and he put his arm around me or whatever. So I'm like, oh, it's so cute, so cute. So he's like, move over. Now, y'all know that the armrest is there. I can't move the armrest. Where am I gonna go? So I move over or whatever. And he's saying like, move over more. I'm like, bro, there, like, how close to you can I get, bro? Like, seriously, there's no more space, bro. There's a armrest right here. Like, it's literally nowhere for me to go. And he was like, you comfortable? Yeah, I was so uncomfortable, but I just wanted him to shut up. So I'm like, so he like, okay, or whatever. We watching the movie. He looking at me still. So I'm like, I look back at the movie. He doing the same thing. Moving, looking at me to see if I'm looking at him. Looking backwards. Looking around. Then he took his arm from around me and then he kept like putting it back. And I'm like, bro, like, you starting to get me tight now. So you could see it on my face. He like, oh, like, are you okay? So I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. He's like, so what's the problem? Because like, why are your face look like that? I'm like, nothing. It's just like, you know, like you keep putting your arm around me, then you taking it back, then you like moving a lot, like you ODing. So he was like, oh, like, my bad. So I'm like, yeah, you keep on saying my bad, but you still doing it, Jeff. Like, so then Jeff was like, he put like his arm around my waist or whatever. So I'm like, okay. We watching a movie. Jeff's hands start going lower, so I'm like, let me see if he about to do what I think he about to do, right? Jeff gonna put his hand under my shirt. I'm like, they're being mad weird. Can you like not do that? Like, didn't come here for this. So then he like stopped or whatever. But then he found his hands right back there. Now, my job, I had a undershirt on under my shirt. And Jeff still found his hands on my actual skin, bro. So I'm like, all right, like, you really getting me tight now. Like, stop, bro. So he will like stand up really quick. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we watching a movie. What do you mean stand up really quick? Like, why? He's like, because I want to hug you. So I'm like, bro, you could wait till the movie's over to hug me. Or you could just like hug me like this. Like, why do I need to get up? He's like, no, stand up. Like, I want to like hug you. So I'm like, no, Jeff. Like, you're being mad weird. So he's like, just stand up real quick. Like, it's gonna take like 2 seconds. I'm like, no, like, I'm not about to stand up and hug you and sit back down. Like, you're doing too much. What's the point in that? So I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it or whatever. And he like, you don't want to hug me. So I'm like, bro, you could dead hug me later. So he's like, no, I want to hug you now and I want to hug you later. Like, no, I'm not about to stand up so that you can hug me, bro. You're doing too much. Like, you really starting to get me tight now. Like, bro. So he's just like, all right. So I'm sitting there and in my head, I'm like, bro, this date needs to be done. Like, if he don't get himself together, because, like, what are you doing? Y'all, why my seat started to recline itself? So I'm looking, I'm like, bro, why the seat going back? Did I press the button by accident? Why Jeff finger over there? I'm like, bro, why are you reclining the seat? He was like, oh, he reclining the seat because, like, it's comfortable that way. So I'm like, no, but I didn't tell you that I wanted the seat to be reclined. So put the seat back the way that it was. Cause now I'm starting to talk like this for real. And during the movie, I'm like, put the seat back the way that it was. Cause now you're starting to get me dumb tight. So he like, all right. Like, so then he put the seat back. Then it starts to recline again. So I'm like, why are you reclining the seat? Did I tell you that I wanted the seat reclined? If I wanted to recline the seat, I would have reclined it myself, Jeff. Put the seat back. Put the seat back the way that it was. Or like, how was it? You seeing me sitting up. You was the one that reclined your seat back and stuff. That was not me. I was sitting up forward. So put my seat back the way that you see my seat, bro. You really starting to get me tight now. Because why you messing with the seat? Like, you're being mad weird, bro. Like, stop messing with the seat. Like, it don't make no sense. So then he put it back or whatever. So I'm like, nah, like, what is this? Why am I here? Yeah, this is the time that I should have got up and left for real. So then Jeff take my hand or whatever, and he do like this, so cute, so cute. So I'm like, oh, so cute. So then he like takes my hand and puts it over like on his lap or whatever. So I'm like, why is my hand over here? And you letting go and stuff. Like, I snatched my hand back, so he gonna put it back. So I'm just like, okay. Like, so you still being weird. And then he gonna say, you know what to do. So I'm like, I know what to do. What are you talking about? Like, what? And he gonna say, oh, nothing. Like, Jeff, I know the type of girls that you probably be bringing in here, and y'all probably be going crazy in the movie theater, but I'm not that type of girl. So, like, you really played yourself if you thought that I was ever gonna do anything, or like, you know what to do. Do what? You think this is, Jeff? So I snatched my hand back, and I'm there, and I'm watching a movie, because I'm like, bro, like, he's really being weird for real. Like, can you just watch the movie? Like, that's what I came here to do. And then we watching a movie, and like, he talking to me and stuff. So I'm like, okay, he's being normal. And then he started to do the same stuff, putting his arm around me, snatching it back, telling me to move closer, holding my hand and leaving it on his leg. Like, so I'm like, all right, the movie need to be done now so that we could like go eat or something, because like, so we watching a movie and stuff, and we, you know, it's just a little bit of commentary, because, you know, that's what I do when I watch movies. I be talking and stuff too. So that was just like normal protocol for me. So then the movie is over. The movie 2 hours? I think it was almost 2 hours. I don't think it was 2 hours, but the movie was done. So I'm like, all right, let's go. We gotta figure out where we finna eat at. So we taking the stuff out, and I'm here thinking about to throw the stuff out, because by now my slushie is juice, and I'm not about to just drink that. Like, it's not a slushie anymore, so I don't want it. So the movie's over, and he's like, wait, come here or whatever. So I'm like, what? Why Jeff had us standing in front of the door to the movie next to the one that we was watching for like 30 minutes just to hug me and hold me. And I'm like, bro, like, I understand that you like me and stuff. Maybe you don't even like me for real. You just trying to get some, but you're not finna get nothing out of me. You played yourself. But like, I get it. But like, I'm saying, like, bro, why are we here? Da da da. Like, I'm not trying to be here no more. You said you was gonna go eat, so why we not going to eat right now? Da da da. Like, you're being weird. Like, I want to leave. So he keeps saying, like, yeah, we're gonna leave. Like, just come here real quick. Da da da. And he was really ODing. Like, I was so annoyed at this point in time that I should have left. But I was like, nah, I want to eat. And I'm not paying for my food. Like, he said everything was on him. So, yeah, we just going to stick this little day out until we done. So, Jeff, or like, he was asking me like if I wanted to go in there and watch the movie, like we were gonna movie hop. I'm like, no, I'm not about to go watch another movie with you, bro. The way how you was moving in the first movie, why would I watch another movie with you, bro? Like, you played. So he all like, all right. So I'm like, let's go eat, bro. Like, you're getting me tight. Like, we're just standing here for no reason. I don't want to be here. So he all like, all right. So we finally leave now. He was telling me to finish the slushie. I'm like, no, it's not a slushie anymore. It's just juice now, so I don't want it. You're like, finish it, bro. I'm like, nah. So I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm about to throw this away. So he's just like, whatever, like, throw it away if you want to throw it away. And by the way, y'all, he did not throw the nachos away, and he didn't throw the popcorn away. He put it in his Stop and Shop bag. I was like, wow. That's a little... Never seen nobody really do that like that, but okay. So, yeah, he walking with me, and he's like, so what do you want to eat? So I'm just trying to choose. First, I said Red Lobster because, you know, never been to Red Lobster before. I know it's probably crazy to y'all, but I really just never ate it before. So I'm like, there. And then he's like, no, I'm allergic to, like, seafood and stuff. So I'm like, okay, never mind. Let's pick somewhere else. So I'm like, how about Olive Garden? He's like, I don't really like their food like that. So I'm like, okay, how about Outback? And he's just like, no, like, I don't want to go there. So I'm like, okay, how about... He was like, how about we get Chipotle? And, I'm like, okay, but where are we gonna... Oh, I got hiccups. Hold on. Alright. So, he like... how about we just get Chipotle? I'm like, where are we gonna sit and eat at? He's like, we could just like get food and then like go sit where like some tables and chairs are or whatever and just eat there. So I'm like, nah, you told me that we was going out to eat. When I hear out to eat, I'm thinking about sitting and eating with somebody. So he's like, all right. So I'm like, you know what? You want to go to TGI Fridays? Because I remember that TGI Fridays was there. So he's like, all right, let's go there. So we going. I'm like, how are we gonna get up there though? Because, you know, like, there's no like sidewalk. Like, it's just street. Well, not street, but like, it's just what am I trying to say? It's just like road. And he's like, we gotta go like up the thing. So I'm like, nah, like, that's not the way that we go. It ended up being the way that we had to go. He's like, see, I told you. I'm like, all right, like, I didn't know you want a cookie, bro. Like, I told you that the store over there was closed. You made us walk all the way over there just to figure out that I was right. This is a totally different situation, so I could say whatever I want, period. So we get up there. We go in there, and she's like, hi guys, like, how can I help you? Da-da-da. So we're like, we need a table for two. So she's like, all right, hold on. She goes, come back. She's like, do y'all want to sit at like a table or a booth? He said booth in like 1 second after she said that. So I'm like, I was gonna say booth too, but like, why he said it so fast? We go, and he figured out what he wanted to eat in like 2 seconds. Me, I was looking at the menu for dumb long. But I chose pasta because, I don't know, that's just the way to go. Chose pasta. The pasta come with like meat in it, like chicken and like shrimp and stuff. So it was fine. So he's like, what are you gonna get? So I'm like, I'm gonna get the pasta. So he's like, just the pasta? Once again, you implying that I'm about to eat like mad food and stuff. Like, do you think that I'm about to be eating like a million things? You wanted me to order the whole menu? Like, is that what you wanted, gang? Like, though he we were just sitting there or whatever, and it was very awkward and weird. Very awkward and weird, guys. Like, he was not really like making an effort to get to know me, and I was annoyed, so I didn't even try. But if he was like asking me questions and stuff and like really trying to get to know me, of course I would have like answered them. I would have talked to him and asked him stuff back. But it wasn't like that. He was just like there, and I was just there. So we waiting for the food to come, and we're just sitting there kind of in silence. Literally, the only thing that I found out from the date was what school he went to. Because he's a year older than me, so he graduated already. At this time, it was May, so of course I didn't graduate yet. But, like, that's literally all that I found out. That was it. Didn't find anything else out about him. Yeah, what really got me tight was when boys really don't be like having nothing to say for real, and you're, because I was saying to him like, I don't feel like we really getting to know each other, like we're just here. And he was like, oh, so he was like, what's your favorite artist or something, or like, I'm like, bro, there's so many people that I really like, it's hard for me to choose, da da da. So he's like, all right, who would be like your top, who's the person that you listen to the most, or that you have like the most music on your phone from? So I said Brandy. Love you, Brandy girl. So I said Brandy, and he was like, Brandy, like, he was puzzled. So I'm like, you don't know Brandy? He like, nah. I was like, yeah. If I didn't get so many red flags today already, this is another one. He doesn't know who Brandy is. So I'm like, all right. So I'm sure you know the song The Boy Is Mine, though. That's Brandy and Monica, but you know, like, Brandy in it, so it still count. He like, no, he don't know that song either. So I'm like, nah. First, it was a whole bunch of crap with you today, bro, that I put up with. And now you don't even know Brandy. That's an issue. That's a problem, bro. Why you don't know who Brandy is? That's crazy. So I'm like, that is crazy. I don't remember. I think I asked him back, and he said Drake. And I was like, okay. And he was asking me if I listen to Drake and stuff, and I'm like, yeah. The food comes. It was the same shit. The same stuff. He got to eat, and I started eating. Y'all know that I eat slow. And if you didn't know, I eat very slow. Like, I can take an hour to eat something. Seriously. But yeah, so I'm eating, and he was like, why you like eating like that? So I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm just eating. He's like, because I was at one point in time, I had the like fork, and I was just like twirling it around in the pasta for mad long, because I'm like, bro, I want to go home. Like, this is so crazy and boring. I'm not feeling him. The date was trash. Like, I want to go. So I'm like, nah, like, nothing's wrong. It's just what I was saying before. Like, I don't feel like we really like getting to know each other for real. So then we started talking about my job, because like I told y'all, I used to work at Popeyes. That's where I was working at the time. So we was talking about that, and I was telling him that I was thinking about quitting and stuff. So we was just talking about that. And yeah, then my mom called. My mom was like, where you at, girl? And like, what's going on? So I'm telling her like everything's going okay, even though I knew it was going trash. And I was like, I'm fine, like I'm gonna come soon or whatever. So then he was like, what did your mom say? So I'm like, she was just like checking up on me and trying to see if she should send my dad to pick me up or whatever. But I told her like in another hour and a half or whatever. And my mom kept on like calling me. But yeah, like, we was just there. It wasn't given. He bodied his food in like 20 minutes. It took me dumb long. I still wasn't done. So then I'm like, all right, like, we might as well just leave. Like, We done eating for real. He's like, you going home after you done eating? I'm like, yeah, bro. You not talking to me and I'm not talking to you. I'm clearly not feeling this date no more. I don't know about you, gang, but it's not given for me. So, like, yeah, I'm going home. I didn't say that to him. I said it in my head. But to him, when he was like, oh, I'm leaving after, I was like, yeah. And he was like, nah, like, don't go home yet or whatever. It's mad early. At this time, it was like 9 something. Or about to be 9 or whatever. So he was like, all right, let me get the bill. Let's get the bill per. Yeah. So he got it or whatever. It was super cheap because we didn't get anything expensive and it was just 2 of us. So he pays for it. And I'm like, I wanted to go like container or whatever. He's like, bro, you literally have like 4 bites left, just eat it. I'm like, no, just because you pay for this food doesn't mean that you get to dictate whether I eat the whole thing or not right here in front of you, bro. I'm taking this home. So he was like, just eat it. I'm like, no. So he's like, okay or whatever. So then the lady brings it. I put the food in there and he's like, all right, let's go. So I'm like, all right. We go outside. I'm about to, tell him bye, give him a hug, stuff like that. Why Jeff gonna take me? If you ever been to that TGI Fridays, y'all know there's like an outdoor dining section with like the chairs and the tables. He took me to like almost the last chair and table. So I'm like, why are we back here? Like, it's starting to get creepy for real because why are we back here? So then he was like, oh, just like chill me for a little bit and stuff, like don't go home yet. So I'm like, bro, if this man is not trying to talk to me and stuff like that, like I'm leaving, bro. I'm not about to be just sitting here with him just because he want to be around me. Like, no. So we just there. And Jeff was doing the same stuff that he was doing when we was in the movie theaters. Just like touching me and stuff, bro. And it was weird. Because I'm like, bro, I'm uncomfortable. Like, you're making me uncomfortable. Because, like, it's not given. So, like, I don't feel no type of way about this. And I don't like it. So at this point, I'm just like, all right. Like, I kept telling him, like, I need to go home because my mom had called me and she was like, oh, that she sent my dad to come get me. So my dad is in the parking lot, actually. And I'm here with this boy and I'm getting, like, touched and stuff. Not in a, like, super inappropriate way, but it was just very, you don't do stuff like that if the person is not feeling you and not feeling the date. And especially you don't do it on the first date. None of the stuff that he did, bro, you don't do that on the first date. The way he was moving in the movie theater and the way that he was moving after dinner was over, that's not what you do when you're on your first date with somebody. I can understand if it's just like a regular date night, then like I guess you wouldn't even care and it wouldn't be weird. Well, it was weird for me. He was flying. So I'm like, all right, like I need to go because we're not doing nothing, bro. We're just standing here and you being weird, like touching me and stuff. Like, I want to go. Like, I actually want to go home now. So I'm trying to get my stuff and leave, and he's like pulling me back. Not in like a super aggressive way, but as time went on, he did start to get a little bit more aggressive. So now I'm starting to get scared because I'm like, bro, my dad's right there in the parking lot and like we just back here doing nothing. Like, why he not letting me leave? And he kept telling me like, oh, don't go home yet, da-da-da. And then he gonna say, oh, you want to watch another movie? I'm like, bro, I told you that my dad is in the parking lot. What do you mean? Like, you making it seem like I'm leaving you on purpose, or like I'm going home on the bus or something and I'm just saying I want to leave. Like, somebody is here to pick me up. So he was like, oh, all right, wait until 10. So I'm like, okay. 10 comes around. I'm like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. Gotta go. Like, got to go. he was like, oh, don't leave yet, da da da. I'm like, bro, like, you've been saying that this whole time, and you said wait until 10, and I was here till 10. Like, I'm ready to go home. So he's like asking me to sit on his lap and stuff. So at that point in time, I'm like, all right, it's starting to get weird now, for real. Why do you want me to sit on your lap? Like, I'm not about to do that. So I'm telling him no and stuff, and he asking me why, and I'm like, bro, I need to leave. Like, you're bugging. Like, you said wait till 10. It's after 10 now. I need to go. And he was like, oh, like, why do you want to go home? Why are you trying to go home so quickly and stuff? And I'm like, bro, I've been here with you all day. Like, how is this me trying to go home fast? Like, I've been with you all day. I'm like, don't be weird to me. So I need to go. And he's like, all right, like, just sit on my lap really quick, like, so I can give you a hug or whatever. Anything to make this boy leave me alone, y'all. So I sit, and I'm like, now, Jeff, what's going on, Jeff? What's that, Jeff? Woo! Because I'm like, bro, I didn't do anything to you. I didn't touch you, didn't say anything crazy, nothing. So why are you like this? And he was embarrassed, I guess. I don't know. But after I was like, bro, like, he was like, oh, go and stuff. So I'm like, you was trying to keep me here this whole time, and I was trying to do like a official goodbye, and you just telling me to go now because you embarrassed. Because I'm like, why are you like this? Like, you must have been like that the whole time, because no way that happens as soon as I sit in your lap. So I'm on the way home. I get home, and Jeff was telling me to get home safely while I was on the way home and stuff. And I'm like, I don't know what just happened and stuff like that. And he was like, oh, he felt bad because, like, the way I left. But, like, bro, you literally told me that I could go now, so I took the opportunity to leave. Yeah, don't be looking at my hair, because I'm about to take this wig off soon, this coming week. But anyways, yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that was weird. So I'm still texting him while I'm at home, and I'm like just talking about the day overall, how I felt about it and stuff. And he was saying that he was mad because I went home early. I'm like, how was that early, Jeff? Oh yeah, the part that really scared me, y'all, was when I was trying to leave at one point in time, and I was trying to get my stuff and stuff, and he tried to pull me back. So I'm like, bro, like, let go of me, like, I gotta leave for real. And he gonna be like, oh, you making me mad. And the look on his face, y'all, I was scared, because I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, I'm like, oh God, like, I hope nobody doesn't see me on the news. Like, what he mean? I'm getting him mad. Like, you about to get me scared. You got me scared right now. Like, bro. But anyways, so yeah, I'm at home. I'm talking to him. I noticed that he's texting me mad slow now. The energy in the text is not there. So I'm like, bro, I could sense that there's a change in you. I could sense that there's a change in you. So I'm like thinking to myself, and I'm talking to my friends, and we're like, you know what? I think that he's mad that he didn't get nothing out of me today. And I don't know what kind of girls he be taking out to eat. Maybe all he gotta do is take them on a date and take them out to eat, and he gets something at the end of the night, or maybe even in the movie theater or during the movie. But me, you said you was going to the movies to watch a movie, so that's what you came there to do. We're not about to do nothing else. And you were crazy to ever think that anything would have happened after we ate. Like, you played. So, like, I'm not feeling the energy. It's not giving. You being weird to me. So I texted him. I was like, you know what? Like, you being mad weird and stuff. Like, and I deserve better, because the way you acted today was really crazy for real. Like, you don't act like that on the first date with somebody. I stayed on the date with you, and like, I tried to be like as nice as possible and stuff and polite as possible, and I kept lying, talking about like I'm fine. And every time that he asked me if I was okay, I would lie and say that I was okay, knowing that I was not okay. But you know, I went on a date with you and I stayed. Now you really played yourself. You acting weird, and I know that you're mad. I know you're mad that you didn't get nothing out of me, but that has nothing to do with me. So bye. Blocked him. Never spoke to him again. And like, that was really it, yeah. That was my first date, and y'all seen it was a horror story. Trash. Absolute trash. I hope that my second date or whatever can make up for it, and my other dates. I don't know if my other dates, well, we just gonna see. But yeah, that was my first date though, and I hated it. Like, and I was gonna let him go on a date with me again and redeem himself, but he was acting mad weird when I got home. So I was like, nah, you do not deserve to go on another date with me. No. But anyways, guys, if y'all like this story time, give it a thumbs up, comment, all that. I have another story time for you guys, so y'all will see that one eventually. But y'all gotta let me know if y'all like the way that I tell stories and stuff, and if y'all like this one first. But thank you guys for watching my video, and I love you guys, and see you next time. Period.